Hello guys and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, my name is Kim aka Geekerella and I make geeky / comic book stuff on this channel. Today I wanted to make a very special video because right now it is International Day of the Girl. I feel like it's such an exciting time to be a female right now. We've got so many opportunities that we've never had before. So today I wanted to make this video about comic books for girls because when I first started reading comic books, and I often do get this question a lot from girls, they don't know what comic books they should be reading. And it is very difficult and kind of intimidating to go in a comic book store for the first time and not know what the hell you're doing. And of course you could ask somewhere there in the store, but if you're like me and super socially awkward, then this video is exactly for you. So today I'm going to give you a few suggestions that I feel like are fantastic starts for girls that want to start reading comics. And before I delve into all this stuff, I just want to make a short disclaimer that just because I'm saying these comic books are geared towards girls does not mean that males do not read them or will not like these comics. The main characters in these comics are all female, and all of their stories and the ways that they interact with other characters are all very female issues. So of course the main target demographic is going to be females. But again, does not mean that males cannot read these books. I'm sure you will absolutely love them. I have 10 books to recommend you guys today, so let's jump straight into it. The first book that I want to talk to you guys about is the New 52 Wonder Woman series, written by Brianna and drawn by Cliff Chiang. There are a lot of really great Wonder Woman comics out there, but for me, this is definitely one of the top ones. There is action, there is gore, there is amazing characters, amazing stories. So much is happening in this comic. And if you really love kick-ass female characters and are kind of a big fan of Xena or any sort of Greek mythology, this is 100% the book for you. There are quite a few volumes of these series that you can pick up, and I highly recommend getting through as many as you can because this series is fantastic. The next book is one of my all-time favorite superheroines, and that is Supergirl. And by far, this is the best run I have ever read of this character. So this is Supergirl Being Super, written by Mariko Tamaki and drawn by Joelle Jones. And while this series goes on a little bit of a tangent from Supergirl's known backstory, it has so much heart to it, and you just have the feels every single book. So this is book 1 of the series, and there are 4 of them, so I highly suggest picking up each and every one and learning a lot more about Supergirl. If you know nothing about Supergirl except for just that she is Superman's cousin, then definitely pick this one up because you will learn a little bit more about her and just everything that she stands for as well. The next book is another one of my all-time favorite superheroines, and that is Batgirl. And this series is written by Gail Simone. Gail Simone really knows how to write a kick-ass female character, and you really see it all in this comic. Action, heart, story, so much fun, so much ass kicking, so many heartfelt moments. The next book I have to recommend is Ms. Marvel. This was such a controversy when it was first released a few years ago because it brought the idea of religion and ethnicity and someone being different to the superhero norm into the main continuity of comics. The main character in this book is a young teenage Muslim girl named Kamala Khan who accidentally gets these superhero powers. She's actually a massive fangirl about all things superhero, so I felt that the story and the characters in this book just give you so much hope in the world and that it's okay to be someone different. It is definitely a very cute series, and I'm actually holding my issue number 1 here, but they do come out in volumes, so I think they've got quite a few volumes out at the moment. It's still running, and it is definitely something that you should be reading, so definitely pick up volume 1 of Ms. Marvel. So that's actually it for the superhero comics for today. I know a lot of people have a little bit of a misconception about what a comic book is. It does not mean that it has to be a superhero. People know that the big giants are DC Comics and Marvel Comics, but there are a lot of independent publishers that do a lot of different stories as well, and they're not necessarily superhero stories. Comic books are a lot like novels. They have so many different genres, characters, plots. There is just literally a comic for everyone. Now I'm going to recommend to you some of my independent titles that I absolutely love. There are a lot of different comic book publishers that you may have not heard of before. You've got things like Image, Dark Horse, 2000 AD, IDW, Zenoscope, Boom, and that's just to name a few. The first independent comic I wanted to recommend to you guys today is Paper Girls, and this is actually the first independent comic that I picked up that wasn't DC or Marvel. So this series is definitely very precious to me and went out on a limb to purchase something that was a little bit different. And trust me, it really pays off. This is such a girl power book that just gives you so much hope for female characters in the comic book world. This story revolves around these young girls who are all paper boys or paper girls who are struggling in the male-dominated world of like the 1980s as paper girl deliverers. So obviously, there aren't a lot of paper girls, they're mostly paper boys. So in this series, we experience girls just taking a stand. There is so much more happening in this comic. It gets so weird and so strange that I don't really want to spoil it, but I definitely just want to say you have to pick up the first volume, give it a try, because it is definitely a very fun and unexpected storyline. If you are a fan of time travel, definitely the book for you. The next series I have is Spell on Wheels, written by Leth. This is probably one of my favorite independent comics, supernatural stuff and witches. That is exactly what this comic is about. The story revolves around these three main girls who are witches in the modern day, and someone has stolen a very special artifact from them, and they go on a huge supernatural adventure to track it down. I love every single character in this. I love the way they interact, all the witty banter. It's just fantastic, and the art is amazing. You can get this in one single volume because it's just a one-off story if you love supernatural things and witches and just fun, witty stuff. Absolutely 100% recommend. I've said that like 5 times. The next series I want to recommend is a book called Motor Crush. Now this series is actually still ongoing at the moment. It hasn't finished. So it's similar to Paper Girls where it hasn't like finished its run. But you can get volume 1 at the moment, so I do recommend picking it up because this series revolves around the main character here, Domino, who is a motocross champion. But there is so much other stuff happening in the background. There is this illegal drug that makes you completely insanely fast, and it is just outlawed everywhere. But for some reason, Domino has to have this drug in order to live her life. And this book is absolutely brimming with diversity. The main character is a black woman that is a lesbian, and there is just so many other things happening in the comic. It's so great to see a main character that's so different from any other comic. And I have to say that it's definitely one of my favorites. The main character is super badass, and the drawings are just amazingly detailed and colorful, and it's just a really fun comic. The next book I have to recommend is Black Magick by Greg Rucka and drawn by Nicola Scott. These two are such a powerhouse team when it comes to comics. Their run on Wonder Woman has been absolutely fantastic. This is an original series that they've created together all about dark black magic, and it revolves around this main character who is a female police officer, and she's a part of this cultish-like world and is being dragged down into all these different elements of the supernatural. It's just a very, I would say kind of dark series. There's just so many layers to this, and I definitely recommend if you're looking for something that's not very light-hearted. The next book I have to recommend is a very new series that's come out, and it's called Misfit City by Boom Studios. The book revolves around this kind of little mystical town called Cannon Cove, where a very famous cult film called The Gloomies was shot. So a lot of tourists come to this town wanting to see all different places that this film was shot in. But a lot of the people that live in the town are a little bit over all the publicity. The story revolves around these main characters here at the front. They're all female. They find this treasure map and go on sort of a dangerous adventure to try find this treasure. It's a very fun book, and the characters are all quite diverse. There's definitely a character for you. I feel like throughout all the characters you definitely have to have a favorite. It's very Stand By Me, a little bit Stranger Things, but more female based. So depending on when you're watching this video, I'm not sure if the first volume would be out or not, but you can definitely pick up single issues just by going to your comic book store and just finding all the different ones. I believe at the moment we're up to issue number 5, so you can wait till the trade comes out and then pick up volume 1. The last book I have to recommend for this video, Brave Chef Brianna, and this is also by Boom Studios. This is such an adorable book. It's only 4 issues, which means you can pick it up in a full volume and read it through. It is a one-off series. It revolves around this main character, Brianna, who is in a family of like 15 boys, and her father is a famous chef. But her father is getting very sick, and he wants to give his chef empire to one of his children. But of course he isn't sure which child to give this empire to. So he creates this competition. He says all of his children must go to a city and create a successful restaurant business, and whoever is the most successful out of all of the kids will get the inheritance. So Brianna, being the odd one out, kind of makes a silly decision by going to this town that's full of monsters. And in the town full of monsters, they aren't allowed to eat human food. It's outlawed. So the series is about her trying to create a restaurant in this monster town and being the only human there. It is such a cute series. The characters are all really fun. It's very light-hearted, and it's probably good to read in like one sitting. It's definitely a good comic to like lift your spirits. So those are all the comics that I wanted to recommend to you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. I feel like they are the perfect start for females that want to start reading comics, because I know it is very difficult to jump into things and just like overwhelmed that you don't know what the hell to start reading. There's just so much stuff out there. Those are definitely some great books to start jumping on and reading through. You can go to your local comic book store and pick them up there. You can order them online. So easy to do. If you guys did enjoy this video, let me know, because I can do a lot more videos like this as well. And I really hope you have an amazing International Day of the Girl. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you want to see more. And if you want to follow me on any social media, I have Instagram, I have Twitter, I have Goodreads. All of those links are in the description below. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.